Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel for another video, and if you are new here, welcome. Today I'm really excited to share with you a brand new resource for encouraging your kids to write, to spark their creativity and make writing accessible and fun. It's something really different and unique, and I think you might love it. About your kids, but mine are all across the board when it comes to writing. One really doesn't love it much. Another likes it but struggles with certain aspects of it, which discourages her to write. Another one loves writing, and then my youngest will tell you stories for days, but he's still working on learning to read, so physically writing a story is pretty much out of the question for him right now unless he has some help with it. A couple of months ago though, he brought home this book he had worked on in one of his co-op classes. It was one of those blank books with the pages stapled together real thin that you could write or draw a story in, but it's all blank. And his teacher had written his title on the front for him, and inside my son had just drawn pictures on all the pages. And when we got home, he wanted to read it to me. Well, I can't say his pictures were very spectacular, but he knew exactly what story he wanted to tell to go along with them. And it was a lot of fun to see his creativity in this little project. And I loved seeing his story come to life, even though he couldn't actually write it down yet. So when I heard about this new program, Write Stories, from a company called Scriptive, it reminded me of this little story my son wrote because it's kind of a similar concept and it's really smart. Their whole premise is to take away common roadblocks kids have with writing in order to make writing more accessible, simpler, and more fun. And as kids write more and enjoy writing more, their writing skills will improve. Something that I read on their website, which actually shocked me, is that research has shown that 3/4 of high school seniors graduate without the writing skills required to pass a college-level English composition class. And so what's happened is that in order to try to work on the writing process and structure to improve these skills in students, focus is taken away from creative writing. Yet research shows that this hasn't positively impacted the stats. So why might that be? Well, if you think about really good writers and really experts in any craft, they're people who have a love for what they do. When someone loves to write, they're gonna want to work on their skills over time and improve what they do. So if we want our kids to be good writers, we have to give them opportunities to love it and not just throw words on a piece of paper because they have to get an assignment done. We want them to understand that writing can help them express their creativity and be fun, which means we need to give them opportunities for regular creative writing. This is where Write Stories comes in. This program was designed with the goal of helping kids find joy in their writing and provides a really great platform for kids to stretch their creative writing skills and be supported as they do so. Okay, so what exactly is Write Stories? Write Stories uses image prompts to encourage kids to write their own stories. And here's what I mean by image prompts. So they've created a library of children's books with all of the words removed. So you've got books with beautiful illustrations and sequences of pictures to inspire your kids. And they're the ones who get to create the stories to go with the pictures. So kind of similar to what my little guy was doing with his book he made at co-op, except with much better illustrations. My daughter, my 6th grader, lit up when I first showed this to her. She's the one that does like to write, and there's just something exciting about being able to actually write your own book and see it on the screen with pictures and all. She loves the creative part of this program, being able to design how the words look on the page and things like that. So that's really a whole other side to this that might appeal to kids. Write Stories is geared for kids kindergarten aged through about 8th grade. And yes, even if your child cannot write or type yet, they can use this program because of features like the voice to text option. My kindergartner has had a lot of fun trying this out and could navigate Write Stories on his own because He just speaks his story out loud and it will record his voice and translate it to the screen. We had so much fun as a family reading the story he wrote, and he got such a kick out of sharing it with us. Probably the easiest thing is to show you exactly how this works. So I'm going to show you my screen and give you a little behind the scenes look. All right, so here is the Scriptive website. I am going to be using this on a desktop computer. Currently, this is geared for laptops and desktops. However, they are working on a version for tablets and for mobile devices, and that will be coming up in the near future if that's something that you're interested in. But I'm going to go ahead and sign in to my parent account. So when I click to log in, it's going to give me a choice of either myself or either of my kids, or I can add another child here. So I'm going to go ahead and click into my dashboard. And this is the parent dashboard. So it's very simple, as you can see. I've got a menu at the top, dashboard, my children, library. This is where you can browse all of the different book options, start writing, or add an assignment for your child. On the main page here, you're going to, again, be able to explore the library. You can, at a glance, see how many books your kids complete that month, how many words they wrote. You can see any of the badges that they have collected. We haven't been working in this long enough for them to earn any badges. And then you can also select whatever child you want to and see by book what progress they have been making. So if you have specific assignments, you can check that out here. And on the parent dashboard, that is really it. It's very basic, very simple, just an easy way to track progress, view the library, or add assignments for your kids. So let's go into My Children. This will show you the different kids that you have added. You can add, I believe, up to 5 children to an account. So this just gives you a quick overview of your kids. Here's where you can toggle on whether you want them to be able to use voice to text or not. And you can also, this is really handy, copy their login link. So if I wanted to paste a login link into, let's say, Homeschool Planet or a digital homeschool planner, something like that, I could copy the link and share it digitally if I wanted to. Also from here, I could switch directly into my child account, and then they have a couple of different options here as well. And that's really it for the My Child page. If you want to manage any of their other settings, you can click into their specific username and manage some of their other settings from there. So let's just do that. If I click on Carly, for example, it's going to take you to kind of her profile right here. I can make changes to the name or username. I can reset their login code. It's going to show the books that have been assigned or any books she's working on. When they were last editing, my daughter was not doing this at 11:30 p.m. This was me as I was playing around and working on a couple of things in preparation for this video. And so it just kind of gives you a quick glance at everything that they're working on. And again, you can also toggle that voice to text option right there as well. All right, so let's take a look at the library. So this is where you are going to see the different books that are available for your kids to be able to work on. And so right now they've got a couple of pages here, and this is already more than when I first started using this not too long ago. They are constantly adding new books. They're adding new books often to the library. So I think that is a really good feature. And the books, you know, they don't have words in them, obviously, but you know, a lot of books that they are choosing, like these ones probably look familiar down here. They really seek out books that are family friendly, are age appropriate. You know, the books have great illustrations that are going to inspire your kids. I've noticed, you know, many of the books are books with good messages, such as kindness and respect, bravery, trustworthiness, those types of things. And again, the illustrations are really beautiful. The other thing I love is that the books that they are choosing for their library are vetted by their team of experts. There's going to be no inappropriate content, no sexual content or profanity or things like that. So it's going to be a place that you can trust books that you can trust. Okay, so let's say I click on this book to preview it, and I'm looking through it and it looks like something that I might want to assign, or maybe I just want to save it for later. If I click on this right here, it's going to add it to my favorites. So when I go back to my library, you'll see now you have this part at the top here that's your favorite books. So it's kind of a way you can store some books that maybe you want to save for later for your kids to work on. And I noticed as I was flipping through some of these, as you are looking at some of the books, some of them have this little shopping bag down here that says purchase the book. And when I click on it, it actually takes me to a different website where I could purchase this book. So this is on the parent side. And I thought this was kind of neat. Scriptive works with a variety of authors and illustrators. Many of them are self-published, so they support those authors by adding those links to purchase their books. So if you as a parent are looking through this and using this program and you really like the illustrations on some of the books, you like that illustrator or that author, and you want to support them, you can easily do that by clicking on that purchase link if it's available. And again, Scriptive's team of experts vets all submissions. So if an author is submitting a story to them, they will vet that story very carefully to make sure that it's a good fit for their platform. All right, if you click on Start Writing, this is going to take you back here to select a specific child to start writing if you wanted to do that. Let's see if this will take me back to my dashboard. And then finally, let's show how you can add an assignment. So if I click on Add Assignment, this is going to automatically assign, it's going to try to assign a random book. So it pulled up this book title, The Three Bears. And you can either assign that one if you want to, or you can choose Assign from Library. And that should just take you right back to the library. So let's say I did want to assign this book, okay? So you can enter an assignment name. So let's just say descriptive writing. Let's say we were going to work on descriptive writing, and so that's what I wanted to call it. And let's say I'm having my daughter work on make sure to use a variety of descriptive adjectives in your story. So let's say we're working on adjectives, and that's something I really wanted her to focus on in this story. I will select Carly, and then I can even set a due date. So let's say I want this due by the end of the month. And then I'll go ahead and click on Assign Book, and it tells me that it was assigned. So we'll log into her account in just a minute, and I'll show you what that's going to look like on her end. And then the last thing I just remembered that I do want to show you real quick. Let's say I go back to one of Carly's books that she's working on. So this one right here, this is one that I kind of just started to work on as an example to show you guys. So if I'm looking at this book, let's say that this was something that my daughter had done. And I actually, when I was writing this, I was actually using the speech to text option, which is that great option where you can talk into your microphone and it will type in the words for you. So if you have a child that struggles with typing or writing, it can be a great way for them to just get words on paper. But as you can tell, it doesn't always capture the punctuation and it doesn't format it very nicely. So let's say this was my daughter's and she submitted it and maybe she didn't check everything correctly. What you can do as a parent is you can come up here and leave a comment. So if I click on comment, it'll pull this box up and I can either finalize the book and award a grade. I haven't done that yet. So if I click here, let's just say double check your punctuation on page 1 and 2. And then I will hit done. So that comment is going to show up on Carly's end when she goes in to make edits on this story. Okay, so what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to go back and I'm going to log in as Carly so I can show you how some of this stuff looks on your child's end. So I'll go ahead and click switch to Carly. And I'll just cancel this for right now. Okay, so now I am in Carly's dashboard, and oh, this little mouse right here with the flying stars, this can be really distracting. That was kind of distracting for my youngest one. He had fun with it. He's like, why are all these little stars following my mouse? But I'll try not to get too distracted. All right, so this is their dashboard. They can jump right into writing a story, and if she clicks on that, it will take her to her stories that she started. And you can see here's the one that we just assigned to her. And then it shows progress on these other ones right here. So if I go home, should take me back. Okay, so back to the dashboard. It will show the library here. So your kids will see the library just like you do. And if they click to preview it, they can choose to start writing. So they can really browse through all the books, and if they see something that inspires them, they can simply choose to start writing in any of those. If you scroll down, they will see their assignments here. They kind of have to scroll over to see all of them. And then they have these badges down here. We haven't worked in it enough to where they have earned any badges, but that's kind of a fun idea for kids that are motivated for that type of thing. Now, if I click into that book, let's go up here to my stories. And so you've got 3 tabs here. You have assignments, completed, and then in progress. And this shows that assignment that we just did for her. Down here is a place where your kids can organize their work. So if they start to have a lot of different stories or different types of stories, and they want to create like a folder system, they can save their stories in different folders. So that is kind of a neat option. Let's go to in progress. And I'm going to pull up this story right here. This is the one that I had just left that comment on. So it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but up here where you see this little red dot, so it's not going to pop up automatically. So they kind of have to know at the moment to click on this. So if I notice that red dot, it's going to pop up that comment that I left. So I'd see that. Okay, I'm going to go back and check my punctuation there. This one is almost finished. And you'll see on the bottom here, if the child is working, they can either, click through and go back using the arrows, or they can use the scrolling at the bottom to go to any specific page that they might want to go to. And once you have everything written in here, there's not a ton of different ways that you can edit things. So if I click in here, I can go in and I can make changes to, my punctuation. Let's see. I'm going to add those in here. You can, if you click on edit, you can change the size of the text. They have just 4 font options, so not too many font options yet. I'm not sure if that will change, but you could make it bold, italicized. You can change a little bit of the spacing, and you can also change the text color. So those are just a couple of neat editing features. You can also, drag that to make it a little bit wider. And if you wanted to add another box of text, if you click on this up here, that will add another box that they could drag around and they could put somewhere else, or just delete it like that. This initial one that's on the page, you can't delete that. So those are your editing options. And then, like I had mentioned before, we've got this text to speech option, which again is really helpful. So this is actually the last page of the story, and we're gonna see if we can add in a sentence and then what it'll look like to submit this story. So to start recording, you click on this microphone right here. Patty and her friends looked around, all feeling happy inside. Kindness had won the day. And then you click it again, and all the text that I just spoke showed up in the box. Now, of course, you have to edit it from here, so we're going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to bold it. Let's make this blue to match the flowers. And then we're going to add, we have to go back and add or change our punctuation. And that can actually be a good practice in editing for your kids. Okay, so Patty and her friends looked all around, all feeling happy inside. Let's end our sentence. Capitalize this. Kindness had won the day. All right, so, and then let's see how I want to space that. That looks good to me. Okay, so now you can see I'm at 100% complete. It does save automatically. I like to hit that save button, and look at that, we've got confetti right there. So we've just completed the book. So I'm gonna hit finish. All right, and it automatically sent this story for review. So when I log back into my parent dashboard, I'll have to check because we haven't done this just yet, but it sent it for review. All right, and then took me right back to the home page right here. So I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look at Scriptive, how it works, and all of its great features. I'm looking forward to seeing what they continue to add to this program. So now that you've seen what Write Stories is and what it can do, let's talk about who might want to use this and why you might want to use this in your homeschool. First, if you have a struggling or reluctant writer, something like this might help them if they're inspired by the images in a story, or can use the voice to text option to help them get words on the screen. The microphone feature and being able to express ideas verbally is great for kids who struggle with writing, and can even be especially helpful for kids with learning differences or those who are less confident in their writing skills. Not to mention the illustrations, there's a lot to be said for simply not having a blank piece of paper staring back at you. And you as a parent can tailor assignments to work on, let's say, certain grammar concepts, or even giving your kids specific challenges or topics to write about. So like right now, we are working on using appositives in our grammar lessons. This might be something I could ask my kids to make sure to include in one of their stories. And even if you have a more advanced writer, they might love this too, because it allows for creativity and to really hone in on those critical thinking and storytelling skills that they're gonna need to communicate well. Yes, your kids will be writing creatively, but they also have a chance to improve their spelling, their typing, their sentence structure, things like that along the way. Books of all levels and lengths are included in the Write Stories library, so you can really customize the program to your needs and get creative with this. So if you're looking to integrate creative writing into your homeschool in a more out-of-the-box way, Write Stories might be a great option for you. The only downside is that it's not a curriculum per se. You do kind of have free reign to make the program fit your needs. So I can't even say that's a downside. That might be a downside if you prefer more structure, but you have a lot of flexibility with this, which you may like. There are all sorts of homeschooling families out there, right? So they've got this free trial on their website that you can grab now. I'm putting the link in the description below, so go check it out. Let your kids explore Write Stories to see what they think. I think it's super affordable. It comes to less than $4 a month, which is cheaper than a lot of programs out there. So if it's something that will bring value to your homeschool, it's worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed learning about Write Stories by Scriptive. I had a lot of fun trying it out and sharing it with you, and so did my kids. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up button if you found this video helpful, and make sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave for more homeschool tips, reviews, and encouragement. I love to share all of these on my channel. I will see you next time.